message out about how we can defend public education and create a quality education for all of our students. And we have a lot of teachers and educators here today that have been affected by a really inequitable budget in this state, and so I think some really misplaced priorities. So we want to hear from educators today who are being directly impacted by these inequities. So I'm going to have a few people come forward and say some things about the impact of these budget cuts on Garfield High School. You want me to start us off?
Thank you for listening to our message about funding our schools. My name is Paul Shane, and I'm a recording arts teacher here at Garfield High School. And I found out that I was displaced. I will no longer be able to reach the community that I've been working with for the better part of 2 years. I moved across the country to have the opportunity to work with these students, and it's really impacted my life to grow with them and show them the craft that I was able to learn in a well-funded, state-sponsored recording arts program. And I think having this kind of education really changes lives, really pushes people's creativity forward, and it's really shameful that a regressive tax system has come into play here and eliminated that opportunity for so many students who are having access to this kind of technology and creativity for the first time. So thank you for listening. Thank you for standing with us.
It's so outrageous that we're cutting arts programs from a school that's legendary for the arts, that we're having to sacrifice recording arts here is just really hurtful.
Good morning, Garfield staff. Good morning, students, and good morning, Seattle. I'm Tyson Monzine. I'm the librarian here at Garfield, and I'm one of also the positions that's being impacted by the budget. I'm only going to be here half-time next year. What that means, a half-time librarian to support 1,500 students seems unacceptable. I don't only support the 1,500 students, but I support all these staff members daily. Really, you know, I'm here for myself daily, but I'm here for the students and the staff of Garfield. And to think that I have to be here as a half individual, not giving my full person to a school and a program that really deserves academic nurturing is shameful. And I want to just bring up that the Seattle District has just come up with their new strategic plan going forward for the next 5 years. And it really goes through how, as teachers, we need to support our students. The problem with the plan is there's no action plan where the district steps in and supports us. And I'm asking, how do we do this with cuts coming? I mean, I'm going to read one little section here. It says, we will recognize and serve the academic, social, emotional, behavioral strengths and needs of our students, providing high quality, cultural responsive instruction, curriculum, social emotional learning supports delivered by educators who set high expectations so students graduate college, career, and community ready. How does this happen without the support of the district and without the funding?
That's right.
Yep. Okay? We need to fund schools, not for the people here, but for all of the community members. And this includes the students and the families that are part of Garfield High School and the Seattle Public Schools. Please bring back our funding. We all need it. The students need it. The future of Seattle needs this. Woo!
What kind of community cuts libraries? What kind of community cuts librarians? That's the question we gotta ask.
Sophia Chen, Special Education IA. We are cutting, the district is cutting the library. That means the refrigerator has no electricity. Guess what? All your food is rot. Student is going to have, illiterate. So we need the community to help. We need to put this message to all the Seattle, especially to those lawmakers. They sit there, they do not know how important, you know? So thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Steph Edmondson Merja. I teach AP Bio and Chemistry here at Garfield, and I'm a fourth-year teacher in the district, and I was displaced. I taught for 2 years at a middle school, and then I applied to Garfield because it was important to me to work at this school, especially because I used to work at Washington Middle School, and I wanted to come and work with my students again because I care about my kids, and I care about the relationships that I've formed with them. My 8th graders that I taught for 2 years at Washington are going to be juniors and seniors next year. They're going to be signing up for AP Bio. They're signing up for AP Bio not just because they want to take the subject, but because I'm the teacher. And I can say that with confidence because I build relationships. We build relationships with our students. We are told to build relationships with our students. The district tells us relationships, relationships, relationships. Then they pluck us out of our jobs like we're pawns in a chessboard and just shove us somewhere else and then say, well, make relationships there. Either you care about relationships or you don't. It's not just the district, it's the district trying to support us, but the levy lid won't let them. So lift the levy lid, let us do our jobs, let us form relationships with our students that we care about, and do your jobs, Olympia, please. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody in Seattle. So my name is Shraddha Shrude. I'm a first-year teacher, but I've been, and I teach geometry and pre-calculus at Garfield High School. And I've been working in the Central District of Seattle since I started out in college at Seattle U in 2011. I worked at Washington Middle School through programming, and then I went to Bailey Gatzert. Ended up coming back to Washington Middle School to do my student teaching, and got hired here at Garfield because they can see the impact that I've already had on this community. And now I'm here making the impact that I've been wanting to make since I was 18. And here I am, being displaced, and the students that I've been working with, I've known some of these kids since they were in elementary school at Bailey Gatzert, and they've spoken to me, they've told me how they feel like their voices are being ignored and lost, and a big part of that is that the teachers that they love and care about, and just like Steph was saying, have relationships with, are having to be moved around. And as hard as the district is working to keep the race and equity impacts on the lower end, just because there's less of an impact doesn't mean there isn't one. And we really need to be talking about the services that our students are going to be missing out on because of the levy cap. Our students are somehow expected to make it through high school with half a librarian, with no mental health counselor, with part-time nurses, with with one person being an academic interventionalist specialist at our school. It's not possible. And we as a staff and as teachers can't do everything. We are hired to educate. We are not hired social workers. We are not hired mental health counselors. We are not nurses. We are not librarians. We can do one job, and that is teach our content and build relationships. But we can't be taking the burden of 100 different jobs and 100 different services that our community should be providing for our students. So we need to do two things as a community, and that is go to our legislators, tell them to lift the levy cap for a short-term solution, and second, to talk about creating a capital gains tax. We need to have taxes that are progressive, not regressive. The burden should not fall on our most needy community members. We have the two richest people in the world sitting in our city. Why are we suffering as educators? Why is our school system suffering when we have the two richest people in the world sitting in our city? Thank you.
I'll say a couple things, and then we have time for a couple more people, so think about what you might want to say. So thanks everybody for coming. I'm Jesse Hagopian. I teach ethnic studies here at Garfield High School, which I consider really my second home, because I went to Garfield High School, I graduated from Garfield High School, I've been teaching here for almost a decade, and I've poured my heart into the last 2 years of my teaching in a way I've never done in my teaching career, to build the ethnic studies program, to develop a whole new curriculum to really meet the needs of our diverse community here at Garfield. And the day that I had to tell my students that I'm not coming back next year because of the displacement was one of the hardest days of my teaching career. Mine was a little different than some of the teachers you heard here that were displaced and had absolutely no choice. Because I'm teaching part-time, I could have gone to full-time, but since I already agreed to do a follow-up book to the one I did this year, Teaching for Black Lives, I couldn't do that and move up to a full-time position, and so I had to accept the displacement. And it's been really hard emotionally for a lot of us teachers who have been ripped out of a community that we've spent so much time and energy to build, and the relationships that we've built with our students are really the cornerstone of a robust quality education. And those relationships are going to be severed because of some 18 different staff here being displaced. And they're being displaced needlessly. In a society with this much wealth, it makes no sense that we are ripping apart these bonds here at Garfield and at schools across. Equitable funding, then they need to at least allow our cities to pitch in to help our schools. But in the long run,
My name is Gary Thomas. I teach business and economics courses here at Garfield, have for the last 22 years. 22 years here, a school of this size has never been asked to operate with a half-time librarian. In the courses that I teach young people that education is an investment in society. It's called human capital. The young people will be walking through this door in a half an hour. They're the ones who are going to be paying for our Social Security. They're our future, and we have to invest in that. It's unfortunate that we live in a society here in Washington State where we do have the most regressive taxation out of 50 states. That's unfortunate, and it has to be changed. I say to the legislature, you can't balance the budget on the backs of the most vulnerable populations of kids who need interventionists, librarians, and other people to get an education. Let's lift the lid and then fix this regressive taxation problem. Thank you.
I mean, the other thing I just want to say is that, you know, the Seattle Times reported not too long ago that hate crimes have doubled in Seattle over the course of the last year. And, you know, that's a crisis in our communities. We're seeing the rise of racist hate speech in high schools and across the city and across this country. We need ethnic studies programs, and we need more teachers of color in the school buildings to be able to counter very dangerous situations for our youth. And our school district and our state should be valuing ethnic studies and should be doing everything they can to hire and retain teachers of color. And this shows that they don't have the commitment when it comes to the dollars that we need to provide really crucial classes and support to address institutional racism in our society.
Yeah, Jesse.
Does anybody else feel called to speak today? Yeah, come on down. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi. My name is Kira O'Hearn. I'm a first-year teacher. I teach 10th and 11th grade English language arts, and the day that I found out I was hired at Garfield was probably one of the happiest days of my life. This was the school, this was my dream school. This was the one I had always wanted to work at. It was the community I wanted to serve in the city that I live in and that I love. And the day that I found out I would be leaving Garfield because I was displaced was one of the hardest days of my life. I have students that I built relationships with. I have students that I love, and they love me, and I'm getting emotional because I'm not going to be able to see my juniors graduate next year. I'm not going to be there to support them when they need that support. And that's the case with every single teacher that's getting displaced this year. This isn't just Garfield, it's all across the district. It's my friend who got displaced from Roosevelt, where she is a teacher of color in a school that sorely needs them. And she's also a first-year teacher, and she is gone. It's the fact that I have to look at applying to other districts because I am worried that there will not be a job for me in this district next year, regardless of the fact that I'm displaced. It's the fact that this is the only job I've ever wanted to have, and because of these budget cuts, because the state is not doing its job, I don't get to stay here. I don't get to do what I've wanted to do. I don't get to serve the students I want to serve, and it's not just me. It's all these teachers, and it hurts, and it's hard. Lift the levy lid. Fix the problem. Let us do what we want to do, what we came here to do, and what we are meant to do, and help the students that really need it. Lift the lid. Thank you.
Why is our levy lid percentage the same as South Kitsap? Why are we in the same boat with South Kitsap? Why is their cost of living half as much as ours, and we're on par with that? That is completely backwards.
That's right.
It's appalling.
It's so nonsensical. If they weren't going to fund the schools, at least they can let us dip into our own pocket, right? I mean, it just makes no sense. You guys want to come and speak? We have
The legislators need to go back to math
Thank you.
class.
We have a couple students here. Can you guys introduce yourself, talk about the work you do, and what these cuts mean to you?
I'm Chardonnay Beaver. I'm ASG president here at Garfield. I'm a senior.
Speak up, Chardonnay. We can't
Speak
hear
up,
you.
speak up.
Nice and loud.
We know you got some voice in there.
Good morning. My name is Chardonnay Beaver. I am also president here at Garfield High School. I'm a senior. I'm a part of New Generation as well.
I'm Chanel Gary. I'm a senior. I'm part of New Generation as well. And something about this budget cuts that really hit home to me was losing Mr. Hagopian, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even have our group New Generation. I had the honor of being in his class before there even was ethnic studies for the first year, and then I was blessed enough to have for ethnic studies, which was a life-changing experience and changed the culture for me at Garfield as a whole, because I didn't feel comfortable really in my school until having him as a teacher and having that class teaching me my worth and who I am as a student, and students of color can succeed in class. And so now having him cut, it really, really breaks my heart, because it was a teacher like him that helped me feel like I could succeed in the system, in the South Public School system. And I know he's helped a lot of other students of color, so I can't imagine just losing a teacher like that, somebody who looks like you, and someone who is teaching that class, and how that's going to affect. And it's going to affect all kids that look like me, and how it's going to help some of our white peers to understand people like me.
I currently have Mr. Gopian's class. This is his last class here at Garfield. I think the most detrimental part of having this being the last class is that students of color, students in general at Garfield and going into Garfield will not have the opportunity to have ethnic studies. And also the fight in the years that it took for multiple people to come together, including Mr. Gopian, to make this happen, and then now being displaced really messes up the flow and the progress that we need to be as a school and as a city and as a community. So many students have benefited from this program, just understanding their culture and their background as well as others, and creating a dialogue about what change looks like in 2019 for youth. And I think Garfield is really going to be in a tough position without the class and without the program here.
Thank you.
Lift the lid for our kids!
Lift the lid for our kids! Lift the lid for our kids! Lift the lid for our kids! Lift the lid for our kids! Lift the lid for our kids! Lift the lid for our kids! Lift the lid for our kids!
How to fix the deficit? Tax, tax, tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit? Tax, tax, tax the rich. How to fix the deficit? Tax, tax, tax the rich. How to fix the deficit? Tax, tax, tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit?
Tax, tax, tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit?
Tax, tax, tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit?
Tax, tax, tax the rich.
Who do we teach for? Our kids. How do we teach them? Full funding. Who do we teach for?
Our kids.
How do we teach them?
Full funding.
Who do we teach for?
Our kids.
How do we teach them?
Full funding.
Who do we teach for?
Our kids.
How do we teach them?
Full funding.
You guys ready? So we want to walk up to the library?
Let's go open the library.
Okay, we're going to go now and open the library and demonstrate what we need all day long at Garfield High School.